Hey everyone, how's it going? Delrith here, bringing you an impressions video for Killsquad, a sort of ARPG type of game, which I've found is a mix between like a Diablo and a Helldivers. I've been playing it for a little bit now, and I wanted to just go over and talk about what this game has to offer. It's an early access title. It's one of those things that you pick up and play and hope it gets better later on. But I gotta say, it's pretty solid mechanically and gameplay wise so far. You get 4 different heroes that you can mess around with right now. You've got your cast, which is like your warrior nun. You've got your warrior nun. I just read that. Like your assassin, you dash around, you dodge things. It's very evasion based. Got yourself Zero. He's a medic. Got to play with other people for him to really get his potential. You got yourself Space Jason X, which is the character I've been playing for quite some time. I'm not sure if this is officially licensed, but you got yourself Jason X. Solid, awesome character. Uses a giant hammer, does a lot of melee stuff. And you got yourself Troy, which is a gunslinger, ranged DPS class. The way the game works is that you go out on these missions, these sort of bounty things. You basically head out, and based on your item level, you go out and do these missions, and you get money for doing them. And you come back and you go into the shop and you buy yourself items with the money that you got, which goes into your hero loadout, essentially increasing your item level. Like I said, I've been doing Jason, but it increases your item level and allows you to go out on stronger missions. Pretty much, I guess I wish that it would drop these items in-game, but it doesn't. Thing that's interesting about this game compared to other games of the type is that you level up every time when you go into a mission. You go from 1 to 10 every single time you play a mission. Each time you get to pick between, I guess, like League of Legends sort of level up or Dota sort of level ups, where you get to choose between what sort of build you want to do on that mission, and, you know, 3 different options a lot of the time. You get your ultimates at level 6. You get 2 different ultimates for him. He gets like an invulnerability shield and a skydive giant AoE explosion. And so we're just gonna hop in and start playing. I'm gonna show you guys what an average mission goes like. There we go. Go in by yourself, go into a mission, do little animations when you ready up and you're good to go. I like that the weapons actually change based on whatever weapon you're equipping. The models do change. I wish there were armor upgrades and stuff, though, because having just one look is, you know, not great. I don't get the whole gear progression feel if I'm not changing the way my character looks. But again, it's early access. It's like ultra early access. It just came out. And don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware that this game is supposed to be a fully co-op experience, and you're supposed to go in with 4 people, but I'm just more of a solo guy, and it's entirely viable to be doing it solo. You play around on the map, you run around, you collect all these little pickup things. There's a lot of them scattered around on the maps I found. They're just randomly everywhere. These can be used to upgrade your weapons, to give them extra bonuses. Like the hammer I've got right now has extra attack power, and that was something I crafted on there. I'm not sure if later on, if like the epic stuff gets better equipment upgrades, like, you know, little things you can roll on it, but I'm sure it does, because this is all still common gear that I'm wearing. So Jason X, his entire mechanic is hitting things to get this temporary shield around him that essentially makes it so he can tank damage over and over. He's what I would call a tank in this game. And he's got fun little things like Whirlwind. He's got a stun slam that knocks everything everywhere. The game is very fast paced. And the one thing I will say is that the hit feedback is really good. At least for the melee characters. I don't very much like the ranged characters' hit feedback, but it feels good to hit shit in this game with the melee characters. Extremely so. And you can feel it when you get hit too. I'm stuck. This is probably the worst place to fight that dude, but whatever. It's just very satisfying. And I gotta say, honestly, the way the hits feel is probably one of the best models I've ever felt in a game for hit feedback for like an ARPG. It feels good. There's just enough impact and feedback on screen shake and sound and enemy stagger that it just feels rewarding to beat the shit out of stuff. You can fail missions by dying. I don't even want to fight this guy. As you can see, there are elites in the game. They do get Diablo-esque abilities. Like, this is Arcane Torrent or Arcane Surge. I don't remember what it's called in Diablo. You don't have to fight him. And because he's one of the most annoying enemies with that ability, I'm just not. We're just not going to fight that guy. We're just going to selectively bypass that dude in particular. You do get drops from it. Oh, he's still chasing me. That's fine. We can just escape. You do get drops from enemies like health pickups and materials and DNA, which can be used to purchase multiple things in a mission. I'll show you when I get to a DNA terminal. So I got my second or first upgrade. As you can see, you hit F1, you get to pick between abilities that you want to get. I personally like the extra whirlwind, so now my whirlwind lasts 2 seconds longer. People really like the term Diablo clone when they play games like this. I don't necessarily like throwing it around because, honestly, being a clone of Diablo 3 is not a good thing. A lot of people forget that that game was like total garbage when it first came out. And it still really hasn't gone to add much more content since then. You get the seasons and the rifts, but that's about it. I just don't like comparing games to Diablo. They've got to be their own thing. And he's still chasing me, which is just bullshit. He's a determined man. He's not going to let me go. I'm going to run away until I can't see him anymore on the map. But enemies will keep giving you XP, and your damage and stats and whatnot will scale as you go and you level up. And so you will start doing more damage in the mission. And like I said, every time you go and play, you have to re-level. But it's not a bad system, and even though it is a little repetitive, it's enjoyable. Just because the combat feels so solid. And I don't really know why, other than I guess maybe the feedback and the animations of the enemies. Also, I haven't fought one of these yet. This is cool. No! Golem Man is also here! So like I said, you will encounter elites, and there are iframes on the dodge, so there's a lot of little skill to dodging a lot of the hits and things you're not supposed to get smashed by. And if you're patient, you can very easily fight most enemies without getting your ass kicked. You just have to be very mindful of your surroundings. After killing elites, you'll get little boxes like this. They give you resources or credits or what have you, so they are worth doing, albeit some of them are really annoying. Missions themselves last like 15 to 20 minutes if you're just exploring every little nook and cranny. So like I said, you'll get DNA during missions. You can spend them at this terminal to get yourself little upgrades or heal yourself during missions. If you don't use your DNA, every 2 DNA is worth 1 credit at the end for buying gear. Let me grab all this DNA. Oh yeah, look at all that DNA. Going to the terminal, you get little upgrades like extra armor, more life. When you activate, you get invulnerability, or you can just heal yourself. I'm not going to buy any of that because that is weak. I'm just going to go straight in. So we're fighting another one of these assholes, and he's got minions with him this time that do huge damage and will absolutely murder me if I get hit by the death lasers. So I found out that these guys actually respawn, so fighting them is just kind of pointless. And they do so much damage. If I leave one of them, I wonder if the other will not die or not respawn. I have my ultimate. So Jason's ultimate is he can fly. And do a shit ton of damage. I guess Jason can fly. Also, that's not his name. Just for their legal reasons in legal team. His name is not Jason X. Getting a little low life there. Whoa! So they should die when he dies. That's essentially every mission. You do something like that at the end. You go fight a boss, go escort a car, go destroy a crystal, go do this, go do that, and then it's over and you have to re-level again when you go into the next mission. But it does allow you to change between builds per mission based on what you're using weapon or gear-wise. It's essentially a very bare-bones early access. DNA gets turned into credits, in which you could go buy gear. You go to shop at the end of every mission, and you will go purchase gear for your character. So I want to buy more Cosmo weapons. So I'll buy a Cosmo weapon. So I got another Madhouse. And it blocks enemies, basically creates a wall. Boring, don't care about that. And then if I go new equipment gear, minus 10%, just flat minus 10% range damage. And so the items you get are based on your level. So that was Killsquad, and it's in early access right now. Like I said previously, $24.99, I think. It's not a bad early access title. It just doesn't have a lot of content, and it's pretty repetitive. So if you want to check it out, if you want to support the game, if you liked what you saw and you're a fan of these sorts of games, it is on Steam, which is the platform I'm playing on. And until the next video, this is Delrith, and I'll be seeing you.